Greetings, fellow Demon Slayers. This is Taimanin Mari here today with another Action Taimanin video. So, for today, we do have a really short one. This time I mean it. There isn't much to talk about. So, what's on the agenda? What am I going to tell you guys? First, I'll give you guys the usual reminders. Then I'll give you guys what's coming tomorrow. And then I think I'll share this Emily build, just simply because the gameplay is so abysmally boring to watch. I won't subject anyone to that. But I will show you guys how I use her in bonus stage 3, in case people are interested in playing their Emily. So, reminders first, because they're quick and easy. As we all know, tonight is maintenance since it is Monday. So, make sure that you use up all your AP, which you see I'm breaking my own rule. Make sure that your dispatches are all set and running. Make sure your facilities are all set and running. So that way, while you cannot play the game, you will not be losing any sort of timer, or resource. Also, make sure you use up your battle points, and make sure that your special stage is cleared out. So, as for what's coming, as I'm sure as you guys saw in the thumbnail, we have an adorable wedding Asagi there. So, what does that mean? That means my dream has finally come true, and we will finally be getting our June Bride wedding skins. I cannot wait because wedding skins are like my thing. I love them. I adore them, which is the whole reason I have Shiranuis. So, the big deal as far as this release, well, for me, it was we're getting a wedding skin for Kirara. Yes, we are. So, that's never getting taken off. It's hers forever. But upon watching the Taimanin TV video, because there was no wedding skin advertiser, like as far as the official YouTube channel for Global, they do say the skins are coming tomorrow in that video. And yes, the Shiranui wedding skin was included in the showcase. So, with that being said, I expect that this skin may actually repeat tomorrow, and I think anyone who wants Shiranui's wedding skin will finally have the chance to get it, which is all around a great thing. Outside of Shiranui, they did show a wedding skin for Oboro, I believe, and they showed one for Ingrid. And of course they showed the ones we already knew about, the Murasaki skin, and then there was the Renko skin, the Asagi skin, and the Sakura skin. And the new skins would be the one for Kirara, the one for Emily. And again, there's the ones for Oboro and Ingrid. The reason I'm saying I said Oboro and Ingrid separately, though, is because they didn't really showcase the skin. Like, they did a little fashion show, but they did show art for them. So I assume they'll be getting them, too. Point being, if you're into wedding skins, tomorrow's going to be a very expensive day. I know I'm at least getting them for Emily, and I'm at least going to get them for Kirara. So, with that being said, yeah, get very hyped. Wedding skins are coming, and that's not all that's coming. Shiranui is also finally getting her limited outfit, which is going to be this adorable nun skin. And of course, she already got buffed to accompany the fact that she's getting her limited setup. There will also be a limited weapon to go with this. I've seen what the nun skin supporter does, but I'll wait to have it in front of us tomorrow to truly review it, though I do think it is a good support, I'll say this. And as far as the weapon, I saw the effect, but I honestly don't remember it. So again, we'll just review those things tomorrow when they're actually in-game. But yes, be prepared, because anyone who's a Nui simp, you're probably going to end up having to pick up that nun skin and this sweet wedding skin here tomorrow, so make sure your gems in your wallet are ready, because that nun skin is paid only, baby. And outside of that, I think that is everything. Yeah, we have the Shiranui nun skin, we have a plethora of wedding skins, and they didn't say it, but we are kind of overdue for Chapter 14, so if Chapter 14 is in the update, I would not be surprised. Though, don't expect it as a 100% thing. Just know that it could be there. I haven't seen them say anything about it, so that's all up in the air. But the benefit to getting more story is, well, A, more story, and 2, we'll be able to get more gems from it. So, all good things there. Now, is that everything? Yeah, I think that's everything besides our typical reminders. We do have a long time coming for these two gachas, so we're not really in any danger as far as this goes. This is going to be running till June 28th for both of these. And I'm assuming the Shiranui gacha will be just as long when she comes up. And looking at this, we even still have another 2 weeks of Sora, so Yeah, these banners are going to be here a while, so that's a good thing. No real time constraints there to worry about. And let's check the event. When does this end? This also ends on the 14th, along with the Sora banner. So, yeah, the game is going to kind of be as is for a while. So it leaves us time to farm. It leaves us time to get our bearings. I don't think they're going to add anything drastic next week because they are adding a limited supporter this week, as well as a bunch of new skins. So I think the month of June is pretty much spoken for as far as what's coming, and we can focus on just getting our hands on, our Ingrid, our whatever we're looking to get. But I think the next thing I'm going for is Ingrid's character. I do need to get my hands on her. So I'm rambling at this point, so we'll stop here. That's all the news for tomorrow. Just expect wedding skins and expect the Shiranui nun skin. And with any luck, cross your fingers, expect that the wedding skin for Shiranui repeats. And I do hope, like I sincerely hope, that they make all mileage skins like that where they're not just locked anymore and find ways to release them, because if the Shiranui's wedding skin comes out this way and it's for a reasonable price, like 300 gems, like I won't even be salty as someone who brought it. I'll be happy that people can finally get their hands on it, because one of the number one questions I get is, where did you get that Shiranui skin? Well, I got it months ago when it was a limited only skin and I had to pull 150 pulls of gotcha, because mileage used to work differently back then. So, yeah, I do hope that everyone can get this for a reasonable price, because it is a very nice skin. Now we're going to look at Emily. Right, that's what I wanted to do. Come here, you. 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 Sorry, my controller's acting up. There we go. You. You adorable thing. So, Emily. I have been showing the bonus stage gameplay with everyone, but in this case, as I said earlier in the video, Emily just doesn't have riveting gameplay. I enjoy her. I enjoy everything about her. I find Emily very fun, but I understand that others don't, so I won't subject you to watching her dawdle around. But I will give you the build that I've used. So, I did get her to the end of the bonus stage 3, which is tough for her because of how she works in general. Now, I will say this. The build moves very slow. It was like 17 minutes to get Tempest down to, I think, 40 or 50 life bars. And that's when I decided, oh yeah, she had cleared the content. And I ended the run so I could keep testing there. So what did we do on her? Well, to make a long story short, we gave her the Immortal build. And yes, it does work swimmingly on Emily, and I'll explain why. Well, obviously, we all know this engine works because we saw it on Kirara. The Genryu paired with the Suzune is a really good amount of healing. The Kirara supporter just simply makes you more tanky and increases your HP restored, so of course that's why she's there. If you have any defensive substitutes, like say something along the lines of a Mai, or even like something like a Nanami or a Yuna, they will fill the Kirara space if you don't have the Kirara supporter. Another thing to note, that if the character you're trying to do this build on is a tanky character, is a demon character, then this will work, because she does make demon type characters 30% more tanky, which would directly mirror the first line of Kirara's passive, which reduces damage taken from all enemies by 30%. You'll just have to go without the HP restoral. So there are substitutes for the Kirara. Don't feel like there aren't. And of course, Genryu is kind of the substitute. The main supporter you do want for this slot, if you have her, is a Murasaki, and she'll take better care of you than the Genryu, on top of increasing your health more. Unfortunately, I don't have a Murasaki. And I prefer the Suzune in this setup because we do need at least 2 blue on Emily to really get the most out of her. So, what are we doing here? As you can see here, there is no zero systems. When you play Emily in advanced content, do not put zero systems on her. It simply makes her too slow. She will not be able to get away from the enemies. At least with this setup, you can kind of just hold the button to shoot when you need to. And then when you don't want to shoot and you want to move, you let go of your attack button. And you kind of play her like a kite character, where you throw your abilities and you keep her out of harm's way. Since the basic attack on zero systems keeps her always shooting, it greatly stunts her already reduced movement, making it very hard for her to survive and maneuver, and she'll basically never have a breath of fresh air. So, you can try it with zero systems. I did, it just doesn't work, as far as I've tested. Even being this tanky, the enemies were able to just dogpile her, so she does need that skill taken off. So, what do we use? The first ability we'll look at is Ground Shock. So, this reduces enemy defense point by 20% for 10 seconds. Not a bad ability for a 2 set of blue. But the real reason we want this ability is because it propels her into the air. When she is up there, she will dodge basically anything. The only thing that was hitting her was the weird little missile that the Ironman boys fire up into the air. Outside of that, everything else she was safe from. She was even able to kind of float above the Tempest rotating laser, that big yellow laser that he likes to spin around the map. This move puts Emily right above that, making her 100% safe, while allowing her to deal a little bit of damage. And I do stress a little bit because, again, she is very slow with this build. The next ability where you're using is the Gravity Hold for another source of healing as well as a source of knock-up. The knock-up is just such a boon because you can basically knock up with the Gravity Hold and then chain it into a Ground Shock, so while they're knocked down, you can freely use it to DPS. So it works as being aggressive as well as dodging mechanics. You can also take advantage of them being knocked up by the Gravity Hold to actually just take and hold down her basic attack and get some shots off, because they do still hit for 500 to 900 a hit, and it does add up, especially with being such a low DPS build. And last but not least, even without any perks, Healing Field is still worth it. If you do end up running 3 blue because you don't have the Kirara supporter, then you will get the increased restoration range, but she honestly didn't need it. Like, she's tanky enough that the enemies won't really harass you from your Healing Field. If you stay in your Healing Field, you are safe. Like, it's healing you for 2300 with no perks. The only reason that I stuck with the Kirara supporter is because she does make you more tanky and give you that 20% healing besides. And with the Angels in White supporter formation, which we do use with this setup, that makes her increase healing 50%. So the reduced range, or the regular range as I should say, because she's not getting the increased 50% in range, just really doesn't matter because, like I said, the field is enough with those multipliers. Emily will be fine. She was more than fine, actually. And there were even situations where she had gotten knocked back into the death field, and I was able to pop a healing field and just stay in the death field on top of it. She does have trouble in the death field because she is not as mobile as Kirara, but if you pop a healing field within the death field, you won't die. It will overheal it. So just keep that in mind. An honorable mention, if you do not want to run Healing Field or any of these abilities that I've suggested, Aegis Tackle does work. It is a bit more aggressive, but it does increase your damage reduction by another 15% for 10 seconds, and with the reduction on cooldown that we have now, that's borderline a 100% uptime. So you just have to make sure you Aegis Tackle to keep it up. And that's pretty much what we would go for with this build, since we are building her tanky. When I do awaken her, because I do think Emily is one of my awakening characters at this point, because I do really like her, despite her being boring the most. Like I said, I find her quite fun and relaxing. So I will be interested to try the drone ability with her and see how it works. I think that extra source of CC may be very helpful in this setup, especially with the 2 blue. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, Emily's a good keeper for your team if you don't mind building her tanky and taking your time. Again, it is all health Magatama, in case people are wondering. That seems to be the way to go when you go tanky, is health Magatama with all maximum HP rolls. Because after a certain point, you are tanky enough and you just need the HP so that you can sponge everything. And I think that will do it. Yeah, that'll do it. Emily, yeah, she makes a decent tank. If we even look at her base stats, you see here, her basic stats, if her defense is actually 4200 with a 4300 defense, 4300 HP score. So, looking at her low attack and her low crit, you can see here she's kind of geared naturally to be tanky. Not as geared as Kirara is, because I believe her defense was over 5000, yeah, 5400. And I think even awakening Emily, she won't break 5400. But she is pretty resilient, and I think for people who do want to use her in serious content, this tank build may be very helpful. So I thought I'd share it without subjecting you guys to the annoying gameplay. And with that, I do think that is everything. We're going to give this adorable creature a head pat. And I cannot wait till tomorrow because I'll finally have a wedding skin for my waifu. I know I only waited a week to get it, but God, was it a long week because I've known from day one that I did not want to see Kirara in anything but a wedding dress because, let's face it, I'm signing away my soul to her. She owns me now, and I think we all know that, so this wedding is my terms of surrender, and guys, I won't be able to leave the basement ever again, but it's okay because it's Kirara's basement, which means I'm hers and it's hers, which means we're hers, and as long as Kirara rules the world and everything belongs to her, the world would be a much better place because it would be a winter wonderland and every girl would be forced to wear adorable twin tails and have flowing blonde locks, and they will all be named Kirara, and I don't know where I'm going with this. I just love Kirara and I can't wait till tomorrow. I'm super hyped. Don't let the hype die. And with that, you boys and girls, enjoy the rest of your day. I wish you good luck in all facets of the game. Yeah, that's much shorter. Good luck in all facets of the game. I like that. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow with the Tuesday video where we discuss the Nui supporter and we look at all the wedding skins we can look at and we finally dress this in its wedding skin. So yeah, you boys and gals take care. I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.